Ollie was called in by the police to try and sort out between three suspects. He came down to the station, and the sergeant, his name was Wilkins, Sergeant Wilkins, said, Ollie, well, let me brief you. Let me tell you what's going on here. It was shoplifting, but on a very large scale. Somebody got into this cell phone store, and they stole around $9,000 worth of cell phones and accessories and things like that. So like I said, shoplifting, but on a very large scale. And here's the thing. We have three suspects. Three people that we think might have done it. And we're not sure who it was. So we're hoping that you can tell us. Because all three of them deny it. Well, we're hoping you can help us anyway. I says, all right. Tell me a little bit more about when it happened. I said, well, it happened Tuesday morning. And the reason that we have all three of them is because they were all dressed similarly on Tuesday morning, and they all were in the store on Tuesday morning. In a lot of ways, they're similar. Three of them are young men, young white men. They all have cell phones with this company. They both live in the area. And then all three of them say they didn't do it. We're sure one of them did, but we don't know who. I said, all right. Let me go and talk to them. So I went into the first one and said, hi, my name's Ollie. I'm helping with the investigation. I said, hi, Ollie. I'm Phil, and I didn't take the cell phones. I don't know why I'm here. I said, all right. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're doing Tuesday morning? I said, all right. I said this before, but Tuesday morning, we're off school, of course. And so, I don't know, I woke up and I had breakfast. And then my mom sent me to go get some stuff from the drugstore. So I went to the drugstore, I don't know, maybe around 10 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly. I wasn't really paying much attention at the time. And then after the drugstore, I went into the cell phone store. And I probably shouldn't have, but, I did, because I was curious to see if they had, I don't know, just any cool headphones or something. I didn't really have a strong reason to be there, honestly. But, I went, and they had some cool headphones, but I don't have any money, so I left. And that's it. I went home. The rest of the morning I was home, and I played some video games, I think, and I probably did some homework. I don't know, that's it. I didn't take the cell phones. I said, all right. I'll check back with you in a little bit. Then I went to the next kid. And I said, hi, my name's Ollie. I'm helping out the investigation. The guy said, all right. Hi, Ollie. What's your name? Well, my name is Steven. Hi, Steven. Can you tell me a little bit about what you were doing Tuesday morning? I said, man, I've been answered this. I didn't take the cell phones and cases and USB drives. I didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know. Tuesday morning, I woke up at 8:30, and I did my homework for an hour. Well, I had breakfast first. Then I did my homework for an hour. Then at 10 o'clock, I went over to the cell phone store because I needed to get a new case for my phone. My old phone case was broken and cracked, and it wasn't any good anymore. So I went and I looked at the cases, but they didn't have one that fit my phone. I've got this older iPhone, and I guess they don't have the cases for it anymore. I mean, they had one case, but it was pink. So I didn't want that. So then I left. And from there, I went over to the grocery store, and I got some, like, 3 candy bars and some bananas and some oranges and a soda and some bread. And then I went home. And I was at home. I got home at like 11:30, and I was pretty much home the rest of the day. I said, all right. Thanks, I'll check back with you. I went to the third kid. He came in and said the same thing. Hey, I'm Ollie. I'm helping out with the investigation. The kid was really upset. I said, I don't understand what's going on here. I'm not like a big cell phone guy. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't take anything from the store. I don't know, man. I just want to go home. I said, all right, calm down. Tell me about what you did on Tuesday morning. I said, I didn't do anything on Tuesday morning. I was walking around. I mean, I don't know, I ate breakfast after I got up. I didn't really do any schoolwork on Tuesday. I should have, probably. I wish I'd stayed home and just done my schoolwork, because then I wouldn't get all caught up in all of this. But yeah, I went walking around a little bit. I just wanted to get some fresh air, I guess. I don't know. My mom wasn't around. She was working. I guess I must have gone into the store. I don't remember why. I don't need anything for my phone. And then I don't know, I wandered around for a little bit, and then I went home. I didn't take the phones or whatever. I'm not like a big phone guy. I just like have a phone, and I use it to text message and do internet stuff. That's like it, man. I didn't do anything really on Tuesday morning other than walk around. I said, all right. I'll check back with you in a little bit. Then Ollie went back to talk to the detectives. I said, well, Ollie, what do you think? I said, well, I'm like 90% sure that the second guy, Steven, took the cell phones. I said, oh, you seem so sure. How do you know so sure? I said, the thing is, this alibi, this story, is really complex and detailed. Like, he spent a lot of time thinking about what he was going to say. The other two, it's vague and sketchy and not a lot of detail, because it was a boring day for them. They just, like, well, the one kid went to the drugstore, looked at some cell phone stuff, and then went home. The other kid was just bored and lying around, and you don't usually, like, remember a huge ton of details when you're just going out and bored and wandering around. So I think you should check up all the details from that Steven story. I think you're going to find some stuff isn't accurate. And I think if you do that and you press him a little bit harder, you're going to find that he's making it all up. And he was in there somehow taking all these cell phone pieces. Because, yeah, this story's too elaborate. This story's too detailed for such a boring day. The detective said, oh man, that's interesting. All right, well, we'll start checking into it, Ollie, thank you. I said, yeah, will you call me later and tell me what you find? I can come back and help, or I'm curious to know. I said, sure, we'll let you know what we find out. So the officer did a lot of checking into Steven's story, and they found a bunch of things that just weren't true. He, yeah, I mean, some of the stuff he said was verifiable. A lot of it wasn't verifiable, and a lot of it just didn't match up with the things that they could find. So they called Ollie up and said, Ollie, you're right. There's a bunch of stuff from his story that just doesn't add up. Doesn't match with the records that we can get, some of the purchase records and things like that. He wasn't in some of the places he said he was in. Well, I said, yeah, I thought so. What do you recommend, Ollie? said, well, I think if you go in and you present him with all of that, he's either going to crack and confess, or he's going to make up more lies. And at some point, you're going to have so many lies on him, then you can slap him with the fact that lying to a police officer during an investigation is a crime unto itself. And he'll crack. I'm sure of it. So the officer did that. They came in and said, Stephen, I said, yeah, look, you got to let me go, man. I didn't do anything. I said, all right, we'll get there. But the problem is, we checked out your story, and it's full of inaccuracies. It's full of things that didn't happen. It's full of things that we can show, as purchase records, things like that just didn't happen. I said, oh, no, you've got it all wrong. And he started making all this stuff up. I said, Stephen, you're making it worse for yourself. You know lying during an investigation is a crime too, right? He said, it's all in my attic. I said, what? All the cell phones and stuff, it's in my attic. If I do a plea deal, can I get off with just probation? And the officer said, I think we can make that happen for you. But I've got to talk to the DA. In the meantime, we're going to get you a pen and a paper and you can write up a confession. That'll help a lot for getting things smooth. If we get a good confession from you, I think we can get the DA to recommend a lenient sentence. I said, man, all right, fine. Then the officers sent an officer to the kid's house to look in his attic and get the stuff. And one of the other officers called up Ollie. I said, Ollie, you were right. It was Stephen. He confessed to the whole thing. I said, all right, yeah. That trick works a lot. Glad I could help. That was Ollie in the case of the stolen cell phones.